The day before yesterday, Super Dad and my bro-law helped me assemble this cabinet that my dear friends in Texas, Jim and Nancy, gave us before we moved. And it was so old and rusty, we had to cut all the bolts off to get it to take it apart. And it's been apart ever since then. So 2 days ago, Super Dad and Bro-law helped me assemble it with new bolts and such. And now I'm going to attempt, because it's really heavy, to put it under my work shed area, because I'm going to stack kindling sticks in there. I'm hoping if we can pack this thing top to bottom, and it's 6 feet long, actually it's 7 feet long. If we can pack it top to bottom with kindling, that'll hold us for a few months in the winter, and we won't be making kindling at 5 in the morning when the fire's gone out like last year. Okay, this is the final resting place, so to speak, of the kindling rack. Up at the top, up there, I took a 3x3 and nailed the tarp to it and set it up there for weight, and got a couple of T-bar posts holding it. But this is a general idea. That's newer wet wood up there, and this is like 2 hours of cracking kindling, and actually I've used about a fifth of it already. So ideally we want to fill this bay completely and then put some little bit larger ones there and keep the wet wood and maybe even some of the cut off rounds in there for when we need to run that stove all night. Put some of the wetter wood on it so it'll smolder. So yeah, at least that project is complete. Okay, as you can probably see, the pallet is now empty and it's pulled back. It's still underneath the confines of the roof. The problem I have is I basically have 3 sizes of wood here. I have little short pieces, standard pieces, and then these god-awful monstrosities. This is what we bought, the rick that we bought. And they're longer than the other wood, just barely fit in our stove. I don't want to cut them down too small, because I want to get away from this size and go more this size. So what I'm going to do here is try to stack as many of these as I can here. And everything small, like this and this, I'm going to put in the front of the first pallet. So we'll take kindling and these small ones to get our fire going, and then when we get ready to stoke it up, we'll use these larger ones. And I'm hoping that eventually I'll burn out of these, because I got a bunch of them. So that's the plan. I know this doesn't look like much, but it's 11 in the morning. It's frippin' frappin' hot out here. I have been stacking, crisscross here, so I can just stack in the middle, crisscross here. I had to go over to my splitter over there and split some of the bigger stuff, and I've tossed some of it over here, so I can continue stacking this side, and then I can stack in the middle and then move forward and do the next one. And if you don't think it's hot out here, these are my leather gloves. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Whew. we'll take a break. Well, I've split about 3 wagon loads of bigger wood, and I have this stack here. It's 4 feet on this side, so once I even it out, I'll have the first stack 4 feet high. I've got 2 rows stacked almost 4 feet up, but I'm just about ran out of big logs. Everything here is less than 14 inches, with the exception of those great big logs, which my splitter won't split anyway. So I'm going to take a chainsaw and make an X in the top, a couple inches down, and then use them all to get the split started. I got a bunch of pre-kindling down there, but I think what I want to do is sort by size now. I'll try to stack 14 to 16 inch in the middle here, and then 14 inch out. I'm going to put another pallet right here, and then 14 inch out. Days ago, Super Dad and I bucked up this wood. We bought another lot near our work shed, and it had the start of a log cabin on it. The guy had put up the piers and put a bunch of this wood on there, and some of it's old and starting to rot, but some of it's not. Some of it's pretty solid. So we got 15 logs pulled over from there, and it's already been seasoned for at least a year. So I'm going to cut them down to length, like this log we did, and split them on my splitter and stack them up, get ready for my winter. And all this wood and 10 or 12 more logs was already cut and drying up off of the ground. So it's like free firewood. One whole pallet stacked bottom to top. So that would be 1/4 of a cord, because 4 pallets would be 8 by 8. Or maybe it's a half a cord. 4 by 8 is a cord? I don't know. Anyway, it's 4 feet tall, and it's stacked top to bottom. So it's a nice start. The electric splitter that Susan got me for Christmas 2 Christmases ago, and it's not as powerful as gas ones, but it seems to fit our needs. It's a 2-handed system, so you have a lever here and a push button there, and I've found I can put my foot on the lever and 1 finger on the push button and split the wood. Look at that. Now I've got my wagon too close because the ram goes out and pushes the wagon. But basically, that's split wood. Look at that white oak. Yeah. I'm going to move the wagon and do the rest of this.